On all three major indices here on Wall Street, the relief rally was short, the fun affected by poor economic data. However, even without that influence, many analysts question how long that relief rally would have lasted. While this new debt deal did avert financial crisis here in America, there is still many more negotiations to be had and budgetary pain to come.
The more people look at it, they have come to the conclusion and are coming to the conclusion that it's meaningless, that it's not enough money, that not all the cuts will be made, that we have a lot more to do.
The news stole headlines all over the country. After weeks of intense negotiations in Washington, Congress finally came up with a solution that would cut about $900 billion of spending immediately and a further $1.2 to $1.5 billion in the next 10 years, which would be determined by a special bipartisan deficit reduction committee. Yet with the country's debt well over $14 trillion, do the American people feel this is enough?
I'm kind of disillusioned about it, and when I see in the paper Republicans, Democrats fighting, debt, all these problems, you know, it's such a mess to me. So I am kind of just skipping along, whistling a happy tune and pretending not to notice. Although that is pretty dire, so I hope that whatever happens, it all works out.
Well, and it certainly seems to put all the burden on poor people, no burden on rich people. I'm not rich, but I am certainly ready to be taxed more, a lot more, if it means we don't overcrowd our schools and we don't cut Medicare and we don't cut Social Security. It is an obscenity what is being done to America by our own people.
While this last-minute deal may represent a victory for President Barack Obama ahead of the 2012 presidential elections, is it what he was looking for?
Is this the deal I would have preferred? No. I believe that we could have made the tough choices required on entitlement reform and tax reform right now, rather than through a special congressional committee process. But this compromise does make a serious down payment on the deficit reduction we need and gives each party a strong incentive to get a balanced plan done before the end of the year. Most importantly, it will allow us to avoid default and end the crisis that Washington imposed on the rest of America.
Yet another crisis lingers overhead. Despite the solution, America's AAA rating remains under review by prominent credit ratings agencies.
It's not enough to avoid a downgrade, and most people feel that the rating agencies may wait a few months, but that a downgrade is coming and that we need more to do in terms of getting our fiscal house in order, and it may take that downgrade to galvanize Congress to come back to do more.
While the first round of cuts will not touch major entitlement programs such as Medicare and Social Security, which eat up a lot of Washington's spending, the second round may. And while America's credit rating is still under review, Wall Street will likely see more volatility in the days and weeks ahead. Natalie Carney reporting from Wall Street for CCTV.